Hey, how you guys doing? Happy Wednesday night, technically early Thursday morning. Just got done working. Probably should have a hat on. I know it looks so hot. Anyways, tonight I work at a school as a janitor, and I work in the field house department, and that works with the football field and stadium, and it's a huge stadium. I mean, it's bigger than the press box and all that they have in St. Cloud or at SSU and Marshall. It's huge. Just for high school, it's crazy. Anyways, graduation's tomorrow, and they have it on the field, and they have it all set up, and they have these massive bathrooms that haven't been cleaned for a while, and I had to go and clean them and mop them. And it wasn't a pleasant job, as you could imagine, but I kind of had a little bit of a unhappiness, and I had a conversation with my wife, and man, having a good wife is good. To hear you and listen to you, what a blessing a bride is. What a blessing it is to have a good wife. I mean, I cannot thank God enough for my wife. She's amazing. But I threw my AirPod in. Yeah, it's one AirPod because it's all I got. And I needed some music to get me through this. So I listened to some music my daddy would love. My dad would my pops. He would love it. And as I was there just listening to music and just pondering all the situations and where we're at in life, and Kelly and I, and God was just speaking to me about my dad, and I'm beyond blessed to have my father who had raised me. It was just me and my dad most of my life. My mom wasn't in the picture, or she didn't live with me, and there weren't any other siblings. It was just me and my dad. My dad had a horrendous motorcycle wreck when I was 6 years old, I think, and it changed his life altering. And my dad was in pain all the time, hurting and struggling with all kinds of things. Headaches, broke his neck, I believe, and back, and just not good. And my dad always showed up. He would throw the ball with me. He'd play basketball with me. He was the best dad I could ever imagine having. You know, and I've had people in my life tell me that I should have had a better dad. He was perfect. Every time I go out and share the gospel, how I'm able to talk and be bold with people is because my dad was bold. My dad would talk to anybody. He didn't care where you were from, whether you were black, white, green, purple. My dad loves people. And if you ever have the great honor of meeting my dad, you'll know that he's going to take time to talk to you. He's going to take time to offer you something. And he'll have lots of words. And he'll love you. And he'll impact your life. You'll remember meeting my dad. That's the kind of man he is. That's the kind of man my Father in heaven blessed me with. Now, I know a lot of you didn't have good dads, and I'm sorry for that. And I pray for you guys. But I want you to know something. You have a good Father in heaven that created you. He's a good Father. He has promised to never forsake you. I mean, just last night he was saying, Timothy, when you withhold your gaze from somebody, you withhold your love and you choose not to love them. The Father never withholds a gaze to us. No matter how dirty we get, no matter the mistakes we make, no matter the pits we fall in, he looks directly at us. You know, some of you will say, man, Tim, you're a ridiculous Jesus freak. But I was so filthy and messy in my own decisions. And the Lord got dirty, coming after me. He didn't stop pursuing me. Now, there may be some people in your life that God's called you to pursue. People he's called you to seek. People he's called you to speak into their lives. People he's called you to be intentional with. And he sets that example. He says he leaves the 99 behind to go after the one. Are you willing to leave the group you're within to go after the one that God's called you to go after, to share his word with him, to share his love with him, to share his gospel? Are you willing to part from the pack to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with the people that need to hear it? The people that might not be clean, they might smell, they might not be kind, they might be really unkind. They might tell you to go do a couple things that might be very unpleasant. They might be very ungodly because they don't know their Father. Remember, Jesus said, forgive them, they know not what they do. So have that forgiveness already available for them. So even though they tell you they hate you, even though